Good afternoon, one and all. I thought I would make you a little video. I haven't made one of these videos for quite a long time now, but I thought I'd start making them again. So today's podcast episode, vlog, whatever you want to call it, is entitled, Are You As Emotionally Intelligent As You Think You Are? It's something I was thinking about today. There's been times throughout my life where, being a songwriter and a published poet, I thought I was very emotionally intelligent, and then I would say or do something. It's happened before, and it's not been received how I was certain it would be received. And I think one of the things I've been thinking about today is that sometimes we get to a point, some of us get to a point where we get so good at something. So I think emotional intelligence is one of my strengths. We get so good at something that the blinkers kind of come up, as it were. The blinkers come on, and you think you stop being as mindful of your words, if we're talking about emotional intelligence, as you otherwise would have been. And then something that you were previously very good at, you become not so good at, because you're convinced there's nothing more to learn. You don't need to be as thoughtful about your words or your actions. And we see that a lot in trading. So one of the things I do is I trade the financial markets, and I actually had to make a tweak recently to I won't bore you with the details, but to the way I trade, I had to make a tweak, to a technical tweak, and it wasn't something that I didn't know. It was something, I've got to a standard where I'm very, very good at trading now, and I basically forgot. I stopped doing one of the basic things that I was doing very, very well. And we see that with, if any of you remember Nick Leeson, who brought down Barings Bank. He was also a trader, and in his case I think it was overconfidence in a certain area. So he was a very, very good trader, and then he kind of convinced himself that he couldn't lose, and then he lost, and then he started doubling up, and before you know it, the whole bank had come down. So I think it's always important to remain teachable. So one of the things I do every Saturday, and I've been doing it every Saturday since I think August the 9th 2020, is I've been doing an advanced self-review. So I basically review my trading activity for the week, but I also review my performance as a person, like how I've performed emotionally in and outside of trading. And I think it's important to, when you do get very good at something, it's important to remember that you don't know everything. There's always something more to learn, no matter how good you get at something, be that emotional intelligence, trading. And I was thinking earlier that when I didn't think I was emotionally intelligent, I would say and do things which were perceived the way that I would hope they were perceived. It's only when you kind of think that, yep, that's it, I've got it, there's nothing else to learn, that's when the blinkers come up, and you start doing and saying things which are not perceived how you would have wished for them to be perceived. So I'm going to try and keep these vlogs a little bit shorter than I used to. Again, that's a tall order for me, because I have a lot of thoughts, especially when the camera's on. I have a lot of thoughts that come to me in the moment when I'm put on the spot. But just something to think about. There's always more to learn. If you remember the story of the tortoise and the hare, it reminds me of the story of the tortoise and the hare, where the hare fell asleep on the line because he was convinced that the tortoise couldn't beat him, convinced there was nothing more to learn, essentially, and that he was the big G. But anyway, that's my thought for the day. Always remain emotionally intelligent, folks. It's served me well in the past, and when I've thought there's nothing more to learn on that front, sometimes you do and say things which have consequences. But anyway, some food for thought. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you again soon. Adios.